Hey, what is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation homebrew news and much, much more. So, today I have some PlayStation 4 news as well as PlayStation 5. We're going to make fun of Xbox just a little bit. And before we get into that, let me ask you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel. The GOAT, the greatest of all time, Cyber, has released this tweet here that has Hogwarts Legacy. So I know where most of you will be heading right after hearing this news. So go there, and it probably should be there by the time you're watching this. Next up, I saw this really interesting article, and it was the PS4 UART guide. So this is basically a diagnostics tool that you can use to get error information off of your PlayStation 4, and you can do different things with that, including hopefully fixing it. So what we can see in this guide is that this is obviously to get rid of and to understand what is happening with the blue light of death on a PlayStation 4. So it gives you all of the different tools, and then it gives you kind of this starting up section so you can figure out what type of device that you may want to use. And then if you scroll down into this, it talks about dumping and then patching it, as well as a bunch of other information, which will really make troubleshooting this a lot easier. Now, I did some work back about a year ago using this board right here, which obviously matches up to this one right here for the PlayStation 3. So I showed you in this video what you would be soldering it to, as well as the software that was needed for the PlayStation 3. But definitely for the PlayStation 4, you would be wanting to check out this guide right here. Next up, I wanted to include a theme. So this always comes from the same exact person, which is Starkiller 1991, and it was called On the Road Dynamic PS4 Theme. And it is a pixelated style. Now, again, you can go back into Starkiller 91's Twitter account, and you can just scroll down and you can see some of the latest ones. Another one that was really neat here was a dynamic L in the Rune City PS4 theme. Another one called Kena Bridge of Spirits, and then Jedi Fallen Order Relax Dynamic PS4 theme. And then just a bunch of other themes. So definitely check them out. Next up, I wanted to talk about a product that Master has been working on, and this is called Orbis Toolbox version 0.3. Okay, so they're into settings, and they use Toolbox. And so, yeah, the Toolbox is navigating back and forth through like save data. You can unmount or you can mount a USB storage device. And then in the notes here, it says save data was added. The HDD show was added for the Toolbox. So you can just go right here and you can download it. And this is just going to be a payload. So all you'll need to do is run that payload, and you'll be able to start enjoying Orbis Toolbox version 0.3. Next up, I wanted to say that I released my guidance for every single jailbreak just a couple of days ago or 9 days ago. This was my revision number 2. And so as of today, this gives full guidance, at least in my mind, for everything from the PlayStation 4 up to 10.50, which is still the latest version, all the way to the PlayStation 5, which 7.20 is the latest version for that. And then I did decide to go ahead and cover this story. This is obviously the coder on YouTube. If you don't know who he is or you aren't familiar with his channel, he basically has some mad soldering skills. And yes, when I say mad, I'm meaning that in a really, really good way. Well, anyway, there was some drama between him and BWE, which I'm really not going to cover on this channel right now. But he did release this PS5 NOR modifier tool. And so if you click on this, then you will be brought over to his site right here, and it says that right here that this is a PS5 NOR modifier. It is for Windows, and that it was created by the coder to make rewriting NOR flash ROM files quickly and easily. And so this is kind of an example of one of his NOR dumps. Gives you the serial number, the board variant, whether it's the disk edition or the digital edition, and then some information that you can do, like you can modify these values. So you could turn a broken disk edition PlayStation 5 into a digital edition PlayStation 5 with this tool right here. Now, this is great if there was maybe a problem with the Blu-ray drive on the PlayStation 5 and maybe you couldn't repair it, or there was some other issues there. This could basically help you get your PlayStation 5 back up and running again. And so I did download the application just to confirm that everything was working okay once you run it, because this is just an exe file. Next up, I wanted to poke a little bit of fun of Xbox right now. The very first one was this tweet that says, "This error message is wild for a console out of video memory trying to allocate a rendering resource. Make sure your video card has the minimum required memory." And this is again inside of a game, which I just found completely hilarious. Only have one more was that this one right here. It says maxed out the storage on an Xbox Series X with just 5 games. So Call of Duty obviously takes up crazy amounts of space. I'm not familiar with NBA nor this game right here, but yeah, you can see that a 1 terabyte drive with 5 games is pretty much it's over. And now obviously you could do the same thing on a PlayStation 5, for example, but I just thought that when I saw this, it just was very funny. And so one more very fun item would be this one right here, which is a hypothetical that I released about 5 days ago. And it says, what if we had a PS4 10.50 kernel jailbreak? Anyway, I found this very fun to work on and really just talk about all of the things that would change in the scene. So like it would eliminate things like all of the, I just updated to a 9.03 conversation that we've been having. The current downgrade method that we have, would really die out. There would be no need to downgrade. So anyway, I thought that this was a lot of fun and maybe you'll get something out of this that you enjoy as well. And then there is a brand new orbuspatches.com. So let's take a look at it. And here it is, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So we have the PlayStation 4 game database, and it shows right here the ones that were recently added. And we can obviously come in here and load more. And we'll just go into maybe one of these right here just to see what the new user interface looks like. And well, I mean, it is very nice and clean and straight to the point. Now, obviously you can come up here and you could maybe search the database. So we'll go Red Dead Redemption and we'll go to Red Dead Redemption 2. And there, got this nice kind of little effect as you're moving the mouse cursor. So yeah, anyway, shout out to them for putting this together. And you can switch over to the PlayStation 5, and it looks like this is actually the old interface. Then I wanted to provide an update for a story that I talked about not too long ago. So this person, IVRY, has been releasing all kinds of tweets about the work that they've been doing with the PSVR 2 and connecting it to your computer. And now, my last PlayStation Homebrew News episode, I covered this exact person, and what they had stated back then was that the Universal Serial Bus devices was showing, or PlayStation VR 2 was showing underneath this in Windows. And what they said was that what this means is that we have an interface to talk to the PSVR 2. Now we hit our next roadblock, and that was authentication challenges. And well, we learned just right over here a couple of days ago that now those authentication issues have been solved. Now, there's obviously a lot more to go, but it is very interesting for me to kind of see some of the advancements that folks are doing right now with really getting this device to work not only just with the PlayStation 5 as intended, but using this as a device that you can use on your PC for a number of different VR applications. And then finally, just a plug here to my new channel called Michael's Gaming Pickups. So, most of you may know if you visit me on Twitter, but I have been a game collector really my entire life. And so, what I decided to do was just start filming some of the kind of pickups that I'm getting. And now, all of this isn't just for my personal collection. For the most part, I buy pretty much games, consoles, etc., and have been doing this forever. And then I resell those to make even more money to put back into more games. One day I may have a room tour and show everybody my actual game collection. But as with most things, it isn't fully finished yet, and I don't know if I'll ever get around to it. But anyway, thank you so very much for watching here today, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.